Hey guys, it's Cubs and boy do I have one for you today. Rax has just released a video on hitting 30 million experience an hour doing nightmare dungeons. And I thought it was quite important I did a video explaining the best dungeons you can do, what to prioritise as a solo player, and more importantly, what to totally avoid, because some dungeons are purely not worth it. This video is meant to be played as Diablo intended. No glitches, no bugs, just pure endgame content. I will say, if you like what you see, feel free to subscribe. And we are starting tonight, going to be streaming on twitch.tv, so jump over to twitch.tv/RoyalCubs and give it a follow. Oh, we also now have a Discord. See the pinned comments. So first and foremost, the video that Rax released, he starts off at level 90, and the time was in the top right, I believe it was 4:37. And he managed to get an entire level from 90 to 91, which is 16.5 million experience, in less than 33 minutes. Now he does the math in the video, and it confirms that the experience he gained was roughly 29,800,000 per hour. This means that nightmare dungeons are now the most efficient farming method from level 50 to level 100. But we need to know what sigils we should be farming, and what we should be throwing out to the garbage, or more importantly, destroying to craft more. I am going to go through a list as a solo experience farming, but I have a little bit as group at the end. And if you can't craft a sigil, that's because you've not done at least a tier 3 nightmare dungeon. As soon as you've done a level 3 nightmare dungeon, you will unlock sigil crafting. You can get the first sigil from the Tree Whispers. Now a major thing here, guys, is they've changed how experience works. In nightmare dungeons, you not only get experience if the mobs are 3 levels higher, but the higher level the mobs go, the more experience you get. So if you kill a mob which is 15 levels higher, you're going to get more experience than if they're level 3. Now, Moxie did a test on this, and it appears it's about 1% experience per level, which is significant, but you need to still make sure you're sticking to an efficient level of dungeon, as that's the most important thing. Now I get told some people want me to be straight to the point, so I'm going to put a tier list on the screen now so you can see which dungeons are best. However, for those who want to know why they're in this order and which ones to definitely avoid, I'll explain as we go through. The 3 things we need to take into consideration when doing nightmare dungeons for experience are the density, the layout, and the mob type. The first thing is the density. The dungeon has to be dense of monsters for it to be efficient. If it's a short dungeon and only has 30 monsters, the whole thing, you'll spend too much time in a loading screen. If it's a really long dungeon with no monsters, then you'll spend all your time running and not killing. The secondly is the layout. Dark Ravine is my example here. It's a perfect example. It's slow, you have to run around forever with constant backtracking, it has a terrible mob type, and dungeons like that make a very low tier. And the final one is mob type. The perfect example of this is Court Dragoon Barracks. It's dense, does not much backtracking, it's a medium-sized dungeon, it ticks all the boxes. It's exactly what we're looking for, apart from the fact it's filled with vampiric vampires, and also skeletons that just snipe you. Because of those mob types, it goes all the way down to B tier. Same as Black Asylum. Black Asylum's actually a really nice dungeon, if it wasn't for the ghosts that make it almost unplayable. So that brings us to why dungeons are in this order. The S tier is the right size, the right layout, the right mob type, the right speed to give you the most efficient experience per hour as a solo player. The A tier is just a little bit less, maybe 10%. The B tier is maybe 10% lower than that. But when you get to the C tier and lower, it does drop off quite quickly. Now, what I'm going to do is I am actually going to also put on another graph, and this is for the group players. It's going to be a list of what you can see and what dungeons you should be focusing on. A lot of people are going to call me out here and say, well, Royal Cubs, these lists are from the ones off Maxwell's posted. Yes, I've done some testing myself as well. The reason is because they're right. I've crunched the numbers, worked out the best runs, and I've had this video planned since the day of release of Diablo because we knew there was going to be a buff. But with today, the bugs got away with me. As I've previously said, guys, you can expect some more karma content from me moving forward. And if you like what you see, subscribe. But hopefully, guys, I'll see you in the Discord, or more importantly, I'll see you on Twitch tonight. And until next time, Cubs, you know it. Peace.